Back to Sir Alex Ferguson challenge. We are at Liverpool and we have made sweeping changes. So I'm going to go into those in just a second, but first, let's roll that intro. Now, I said I was going to make some changes, sweeping changes. Liverpool need all the help they can get. Obviously, we're not in a transfer window, it's still the middle of November. I said I was going to get rid of Mignolet and I got 10 million quid for him, rising to 14, which is a brilliant deal. As a keeper I didn't really want at the club. He's not going to improve. He's 29 years old. He's not getting any better. I'm just kind of glad to have him leaving the club. He'll be going at the end of January. And as you can see, we've brought some exciting faces in. I said I wanted someone who could score free kicks. I want a proven goal scorer. I know we've got a few at the club already. We've got Ings and we've got Sterling, and we've got a few guys like Firmino that can play up there, and others, and Ben Woodburn, of course, coming through the youth ranks. But I wanted someone who could do a job now, who could provide maybe something a little bit different. So I've gone for Sebastian Giovinco from Toronto. I know he's 30 years old. He's not exactly one for the future, but if anyone's been watching the MLS or even just seen clips of the incredible goals he's been scoring, I think Giovinco is a man who could do a job in the Premier League. His finishing is good. He's the guy who can score free kicks for us, which is beautiful because I think we're going to need him to do that. He can pass the ball. He just everything. All his key stats are really good. He's best as a trequartista, which I don't know if that's a thing we're going to make use of, but it's nice to have something a little bit different, and I think he's the guy to do that for us. So he's coming in. That's one of our first signing. Alfonso Sousa is coming in. 17 years old. He's really got a load of potential. I was looking through all the clubs that typically produce good youngsters, because I said the board, their expectations were that we bring through young players, that we sign young players for the first team, play possession football, play attacking football. I think this guy's going to develop into something really good for us. He's coming in from Porto. I said 17 years old. He's joining us in just 6 weeks time. I think he's played a game for them. He's come off the bench for them in the Champions League. He's played a couple of games for their B team, but he's a guy who's got a really big future. Another guy we're bringing in is 19-year-old Dutch sort of defensive everything, Karel Elting, I think it is, or Eiting. I can never tell with this new font. Eiting we'll go with. Again, really good stats. Really looks like he could develop. He's played a few games for young Ajax. He's not played for the first team yet at all. But again, I'm looking at potential. I looked at the Ajax team because of the famous Ajax Academy. I think 4.3 million is going to be a bargain. I think he's going to be a guy who, when the time comes to move him on, we're probably going to see 70, 80 million for him. Same with Sousa. Coming from Sevilla is Borja San Amaterio, who I'm going to have to find a nickname for at some stage. He's a right back. We're not struggling for right backs at Liverpool. We've got Klein, we've got Alexander Arnold that can play there. But again, I was looking through endless youth teams, and this is a guy who looks like he's the real deal. He's been playing for them in the league, if sort of sparingly. They bought him from Santander. They're making a good profit on him. But he's been okay, and I think he'll develop into something good. Again, 5.75 I think is going to be a bargain. I think having that ongoing competition, I think, gives me the ability to look at maybe moving Klein on at the end of the season for a good profit too. Huge outlay here for Ruben Dias. £40 million for a central defender who is 20 years old. He's already played for Portugal. He's Benfica, or I always forget if it's Benfica or Lisbon. I really need to install the real names. I haven't got around to that yet. But he's going to develop into something good. You know, you don't ask for 40 million for a centre half unless you know he's going to turn something special. And look at those physicals already at 20 years old. Look at the mentals are brilliant. Determination maybe could go off a bit, but we can probably tutor him through that. His heading's already good, his tackling's good. We can improve passing, turn him into more of a ball-playing defender. He can mark. I think he's going to be something really, really special. And I don't feel bad spending 40 million on him. Naby Keita's coming in as well. Naby Keita. I didn't make this. This was a transfer that was arranged before I came to the club, coming from Red Bull Leipzig. But he's going to be a special player in the middle of the park. He's going to be a more defensive player, which we kind of need. Because you only got two guys we've got that can kind of fill this role, are Emre Can and Henderson. So that's going to be a thing. I think that's all the transfers I'm currently working on. Oh, I'm looking at Berkat Özer, who was just someone that was recommended to me by a friend. I don't usually just kind of ask people what's going on. It was recommended to me by a friend. Apparently he's a keeper well worth a look. You can already see there, 17 years old. We're waiting for him to have a work permit decision made. If not, we'll farm him out somewhere until he gets one. He's going to get in the Turkish national team fairly shortly with stats like that, so he's going to be fine. And that's kind of what's coming in. See, Mignolet is gone. There's no one. George Johnson, was a loan we tried to get. We've got a few players we're trying to get out on loan. If we look at the players going out, I've got a few players who are currently listed for loan that I want to get out and give some experience. But today we've got a bigger challenge ahead of us. We are playing against Leicester. I knew that. I was just testing to make sure you were paying attention. We're playing against Leicester, who are 18th in the league. They're one place above us. Another team playing well below their expectations. I mean, we all knew they weren't going to become a world power after they won the title that glorious season. But, you know, we expect them to at least be able to survive. And that's going to be quite important. You see, we've got Besiktas coming up as well as our first Champions League game. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that game, or if you don't. You'll see a new setup as well if you want to follow me on Twitter or on Twitch for live streams that are coming up. Check me out on there, give me follows or whatever you do. Hit the subscribe button as well if you want to get heads up on my new videos in this series or in the Vanuatu series coming up. Speaking of the Vanuatu series, if you haven't checked that out yet, you're going to want to check that out. We've possibly got a bottle job coming up, and we all love a good bottle job except those of us playing. Essentially, I don't want to spoil too much. We've been storming it, and things have started to go a little bit wrong. Partially through my own errors, I must admit, but also just because, you know, when you're playing in the South Pacific in a league with some very strange rules, you can only expect bad things to pop up every now and again, and that's unfortunately what's happening to us now. This game appears to be taking forever to get to the Leicester game, which gives me time to do some pimping. If you're liking Chelsea, give it a subscribe, give this video a like. Feel free to share it with whichever Facebook groups you talk about Football Manager in with, you know, forums, whatever you do. Get some eyes on the channel. It's possible I'm going to be doing a collaboration with another channel. I can't talk too much about it now, but we've been talking, so that's something worth keeping an eye on as well. Looks like we finally made it to the match preview. No shocking results anywhere near us, I don't think, which is fine. Brighton are doing a bit well, but we'll see what comes down. We're currently 20th as we go into the game, so something's moved. I'm not sure what. But there we go. Leicester's biggest strength is their work rate. They work hard. Their biggest weakness is their crossing. I think we can make that work. Let's see what's going down. Essentially, I already picked the team for this game. We're going to go with the 4-1-2-3. Essentially, 4-5-1 with the wingers. Danny Ward was begging for a chance in goal. I thought I'd give him a chance. I said, like, you know, go out there, show me your worth putting in. I'll give you a few games, but you need to prove to me you're worth the go. So Karius is on the bench. Trent Alexander-Arnold's at back. Matip and Klavan are in the centre half playing as ball playing defenders, with Robertson on the left back. We're looking for the fullbacks to push forward and kind of fill the gap up here, which is going to be ideal for us. Emre Can's playing as a regista, which is kind of a deep lying playmaker, but he'll get forward, he'll go sort of ahead of these two and try and get in there to kind of support Ings in the box. So he's going to do a lot of running today. Jordan Henderson playing box to box again. He's going to be kind of responsible for coming back and covering. I've got Coutinho playing as a deep lying playmaker on defend, which is not ideal. I want to have someone kind of hang back a bit more. He's not really good at doing anything in central midfield. I mean, his best role is an advanced playmaker, but I thought that'd leave just too many gaps here. Didn't want to be messing with that. I've decided to start with Mane and Salah on the wings. Mane on the right playing as a winger, Salah playing as an inside forward. I can always switch those if I need to, and I think it doesn't make a lot of difference in terms of their suitability. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. If we need to switch it up, if one looks like more of a threat than the other, then that'll be a thing we do. Or in fact, Salah can play as an inside forward, which is going to be a little bit better for us. So we'll have Mane playing as the winger on the left. There we go. And then Danny Ings is playing as the complete forward up top. He's another player who's been begging for game time. Man City are after him as well, and either he's going to score goals and we'll keep him, or he's going to up his transfer fee and we can sell him to City, we can get some good money. I think he's sort of in his late 20s now anyway. He's in his mid 20s, so we'll make a decision about whether or not we move him on or not. I think Giovinco can hold that role for a while whilst we look for a young striker to come up. On the bench, you'll see we've got Johnny, who can play pretty much anyway. He's kind of a fullback on either side more than anything. Dejan Lovren, who wasn't quite fit enough, gave him a day's rest. He's looking like he's coming back through, but we're not going to start him today. James Milner is kind of our everyman jack of all trades. He'll probably come in for Coutinho at some stage, purely because I think he'll provide a defensive option if we need, but we're playing Leicester, we shouldn't need that. Wijnaldum is there. Oxlade-Chamberlain is our kind of wing option, and then Firmino can either come and play on the wings, we can bring him in as kind of an attacking midfielder in the centre, we can bring him on as the striker. Either way, he provides us with options, and that's really, really good for us. So let's submit the team, let's see what we can do, and hopefully we're not going to completely blow this on the first video. In terms of mentality, we're playing just with a standard mentality. I think when we play against Chelsea's and Man City's, we'll look at playing more counter, because the confidence in this team is so low that there's not a lot I can do with it. Lallana, of course, is still injured, which is why it's saying he's a big miss. Actually, before I start the game, sorry, I hate to do this. Whilst I was making some sweeping changes, lots of sweeping changes, I also changed the entire backroom stuff, more or less. McManaman's still there, Gerrard's still there, Rob Jones is still there in the youth team. But if you look at what we've done with the staff, everyone's gone. Everyone has gone. Robbie Fowler was around the club at some point and he left. I don't know what his job was here, but he's gone to manage Gillingham. Fair play to him. But you'll see these guys obviously went before I did. Kravietz and Rawbeck, they went before I came. They left with Klopp. That's fine. And then we've just let go of coaches at all levels. We lost some scouts, because if you look at these scouts, they're a bit shit, if we're honest. We've brought in some quality stuff too. So Ariel Paolo Rossi came in from Lanús. He's an Argentine. He's our assistant manager. It's not his preferred job. He prefers to be a head of youth development, and he's very, very good at that. But he's also going to be quite good for us as an assistant manager. I've got a lot of faith in him. Jupp Heynckes is going to be good with the goalkeepers. Salah, there's no one, all of these guys, you can pick any one of these guys and they're top whatever they do, whether it's they're specialising in defending or coaching or coaching attackers or fitness or goalkeepers. I mean, these are the top. I mean, in fact, if I go to the star screen, I can just kind of show you what, you can see we're currently the best in the league at these things. Everything before was below the line of average. Everything was below the line of average. We weren't excelling at anything. Same with the scouting team. We were just below average, and now we're the second best in the league at most things. And again, our physios and sports scientists, we were well below average, and we've replaced them with just the best guys for the job. So let's go back to the match, because I know you all want to see actual football being played. That's kind of what we do here. It's our first match as Liverpool manager. Can you sum up your feelings? It's a special day. I can't wait to get started in this wonderful job. Coutinho's about to make his 150th appearance for the club. How much does he mean to everyone? I'm going to say I'm delighted for him, but I know I'm going to sell him to Barcelona as soon as an offer comes in. How much of a boost is Adrian Silva's absence? It makes things a bit easier, but they've got some good players. Let's try and pretend like we care. Daniel Sturridge just being dropped has caused a bit of a stir. I mean, I didn't pick him because I couldn't have another sub, and Liverpool have got so many great attacking options that someone's always going to miss out. Both teams go into a spell of poor form. Can we turn it around? I think we can. We're going to shake off our malaise. Let's see what happens. I'm going to do that really horrible thing that I know you guys hate when I do on the stream, because you know I like to have it on full match when I'm not playing on the stream. So let's up that a little bit. Not too fast, I can't see what's going on. That would be a bad idea. Let's do that. So they've put out a good team. Jakupovic, Benayoun, Maguire, Dragovic and Fuchs at the back. Ibora and Didi, Amate, Mahrez, Gray and Vardy up top. It's not a bad side. It's probably the strongest they've got. I'm quite glad Slimani is not starting, but we'll probably make the best of this anyway. You know, on paper we've got the better side. We're matched up man for man on the formations. They've been playing with this formation all season, and it's got them frankly nowhere. I gather Liverpool have been playing with the 4-2-3-1, and it's got them to the bottom of the table. So hopefully something can change here. Only one shot so far. It was for them, but Coutinho's got a free kick out there. Lobs over to Henderson. I don't even know what that flick on was about, and they're on the counter attack. Ibora out to Mahrez. What can Mahrez do here? Hopefully someone will close him down. Anyone? No. We're just going to let them walk it through to Vardy for a goal, and that's not the way we wanted our Liverpool career to start off. For historical context sake, though, you know, we talk about the Sir Alex Ferguson challenge. Kind of a point of note is that Fergie lost his first game in charge of Man United as well. He lost to Oxford, which is probably the only thing Oxford have ever done that is worth them being in the history books for, bar winning that League Cup. But you know, smallest club on the 420 and all that. And I say that as someone who lives in Oxford and supports Swindon, because, you know, why would you not? We need to retain possession, says the assistant manager. He's pretty experienced, knows what he's talking about. Coutinho floats in a free kick and Didi's tried to clear it. Mahrez has cleared it. Hopefully Robertson can get there. No, he's just let Vardy break with it, and no one's going to chase him down because that will be too easy. Oh, Ward with the save. Frankly, if Ward can can pull off a few more saves like that, it'll make him worth keeping. I apologise if it's lagging a little bit, by the way, guys. I think it's because I'm rendering the Vanuatu video in the background. I've got to be at work in like 4 hours. I haven't slept yet. So I'm trying to get everything done at once, which is always a horrendously bad idea. But you live and learn. We haven't had a shot yet, and that's slightly worrying. I'm going to see what the assistant manager's analysis is. I don't know how you guys feel about the analysis. I quite like it. Tell Matip to pump some crosses in. Let's just see if we can do something getting the ball forward. I quite like it, because especially if you've got a good assistant manager who's got some good tactical knowledge like the guy we've got. They're usually quite adept at being able to tell you, you know, what actually is wrong with your team. If you're playing in the Conference North or South, I probably would avoid taking their advice as much, purely because you know, they're at that level for a reason, and you're not going to really get anyone that knows the game that well in there. We finally had a shot on goal. It's evident our crossing just isn't working at the minute. Well, then we'll make a change there, and we'll see what happens. We're starting to see some shots though, which is very, very encouraging. None of the players are being spectacularly good. Alexander-Arnold looks like he's been our best performer. Emre Can's doing a decent job. Jordan Henderson must be the most confused man in the world, because when I took over he was on international duty with England. He's come back, his entire coaching team has gone, and half his squad are leaving. Or certainly his goalkeeper's leaving. And there's a lot of new faces coming in. He must be so confused right now. This squad will have no idea who I am, and he's got no idea who anyone is right now. Robertson with a brilliant tackle on Mahrez. He's managed to pick up the ball. What can he do with this? Anything's running into trouble. He's found Henderson. Hopefully Henderson won't panic here. He's found Coutinho, Emre Can. Found Henderson again, out to Salah. What can Salah do? Salah's come too far inside for my liking. He's given it away to Fuchs. Fuchs to Vardy, but Henderson's picked the ball back up, and now he's let Danny Ings through. Danny Ings, ball over the top to Salah. Salah scored. Unbelievable. I mean, it was... I thought a whole bunch of stuff was going to go wrong there. I'm not going to lie. I was fearing the worst, and we've turned it around. We've got Salah through on goal. He's got one on with the keeper, surrounded by guys. He's managed to slot it away. Bit of a tight angle, but he's done all right. And that's what we need. That's what we need from this team. A lot of players tiring, a lot of tired legs coming out early as well, which tells me there's been a fitness coaching problem at the club. That's usually a thing you have to deal with whenever you come into any club. Henderson's usually just the fittest man in football, I think. Guy's got just an endless engine on him, so he must be quite tired. I'm guessing the international duty didn't help. But I didn't want to drop him for this game. I felt like it was important to have the captain on the field. And we can have the debate about whether or not Henderson should be captaining Liverpool or England or anyone else anytime you like. But he is our captain. It's not something I'm going to change right away just out of a panic. And yeah, we're 1-1, which is good. Game's kind of ticking by a bit. I feel like I should speed it up between highlights. That's always something I forget to do. Let's do that, because that will hopefully speed the game up and won't end up doing a 25-minute live call. Half time coming up, and I'm not unhappy with what I've seen so far. We could have been better. Made that change since it's come up. Ask them to do it for the fans. Why not? If you can't play for the cop, you can't play at all. Sadio Mane has just decided that he doesn't care what I say. Frankly, I could probably walk in there and slap him to be the closest he came to paying attention to what I was saying. Our reputation is so low for this level that we really have to start winning games if we're going to win them over. Remember, if we get fired, the challenge is over. So it's quite important we start pushing up. They're only asking for us to get to mid-table, which is quite generous of them. I told the players I thought we could press for a place in Europe. If we're going to get into Europe, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be through the League Cup, which we're probably going to put more effort into than we usually would. Ward with a goal kick, 52 minutes on the clock. He's gone route 1 to Dragovic. Dragovic has picked out the air. Mahrez is on a booking. I wonder if we can start needling him into doing something. He's found Vardy. Vardy just narrowly puts it over. Let's see what we're saying analysis wise. Let's add an opposition instruction to. Danny Ings has picked up an injury, and it looks like it's a pulled hamstring. That's what for? And I guess you can't complain about lack of appearances if he's injured, so that's always a blessing. Let's just see how his fitness looks. So he's not showing as injured on that screen, which is interesting. About an hour in, we have to start looking at some changes soon anyway. We've got a corner, Jordan Henderson whips it across, comes out to Danny Ings, hits the crossbar, and Benayoun is just on a march with it. Hopefully he's got no one on the inside. That might be the worst cross I've ever seen from a professional footballer. I mean, he had players waiting for him in the centre, and I don't know how he came up with that as an idea. We have to take Salah and Henderson off, which is disappointing. Maybe we'll have to make some serious tactical changes. Ings has picked up the ball. He doesn't look too hurt, does he? Henderson's got the ball now. Henderson has found Mane. What can Mane do? Oh, Jakupovic manages to tip it. It was a sitter. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He should be. You expect him to bury those all day. Coutinho with a corner. It's come out to Salah. What can Salah do with it? He's found Emre Can. Emre Can's found Klavan, and that's the end of the highlight. Okay. Yeah, never question Football Manager when it cuts the highlight halfway through what looks like a promising attacking move. We're going to take off Henderson. We're going to bring on Milner because I want a leader out on the field. The box-to-box thing is not really working, so we'll go with a Mazzala. Why not? Let's see. Let's take a gamble. Let's see if that works. I'm going to make Emre Can, I think, into a ball-winning midfielder. In fact, we make him a deep-lying playmaker on defence, and then we can free up Coutinho to go forward a little bit more on that advanced playmaker role on attack. That should do something there. That's one problem solved, hopefully. Let's send in the Ox, who of course can't play inside forward because that would be too easy. I think he can play inside forward on the other side though, so maybe there's a swap there. We'll soon find out. He can't. We'll keep Mane out on the left. We'll see what happens for now. Danny Ings is still not showing us being injured, which means I could use the extra sub to send on Firmino in that left wing role. I don't really want to because Coutinho's going to need to calm his titties a little bit, because if he gets sent off, I'm going to be furious. Let's put out a wee shout. Let's put out a calm down to Coutinho, and if we can, we'll put out a concentrate to the rest of it. Emre Can's been sent off. He's gone in with 2 feet. That's a spectacular error. How does a professional footballer come up with that as an idea? I don't think I've got anyone that can play on the left wing, which means I've got to make some serious decisions now. He can do it, he's just not great at it, and Chamberlain's much the same. We'll have to go looking for an option. Bring these guys back, because I think Coutinho can play out there, weirdly, and if he can, that will make that decision a little bit easier for me. Let's just see if Ox can do anything useful out here. The inverted winger, that might do something. It probably won't, but we'll see. It's always good when you get a man sent off, just when you least need a man sent off. And when your mouse decides it doesn't want to switch players around, will that do anything? It will. Coutinho play out there? Let's try him as a wide playmaker, because he's a pretty good playmaker. And then we'll send in Ronaldo them. It wouldn't be ideal. I was hoping I could get Firmino on, but apparently that's not going to happen for us. He wants to be an advanced playmaker. With things the way they are, I think we'll go with that on support, and then we'll find Milner a ball-winning role. On defend, and that's the best throw of the dice I've got. We're going to go on to counter as well, because we are a man down, which means we need to focus more on defending than anything else. We're going to see how this plays out. Well, it was a red card I was hoping wouldn't happen. It just came out of nowhere. I thought Coutinho might get himself sent off somehow. But Emre Can decided to go for a straight red, because there's no point doing these things by half. Okazaki's picked up a yellow card, which a good team would take advantage of, but this doesn't look like a good team so far. It's alright, it's nothing special. The defensive holes have just let Vardy through again. I really don't know what this defence is playing at, like 99% of the time. I have no idea what this defence is playing at. As much in real life as on the game. Like, I've just been watching this wondering what the defence is playing at constantly. And how was no one goal side? I don't understand how nobody managed to get goal side. Clavan's having an absolute howler of a game. Let's put him onto cover as a central defender. I think our chances of playing anything out of defence right now are probably nil. Matip on defend. We'll see how that goes. Just see if we can keep them from scoring another goal, quite frankly. I said it wouldn't be a Fergie challenge without losing the first game, and here we are losing the first game. It's not quite as bad as losing to Oxford, because, you know, if you lose to Oxford, frankly, it's time to make some decisions about your life choices. What was that? I genuinely don't know what that was. Chamberlain had the ball, and then somehow it was with Leicester players, and that's 3-1. All Brighton's put it through. Yeah. I mean, I admit it was a little bit controversial dropping Firmino, but I wanted to get Ings in there because he's been complaining about wanting first team football. There was nothing that Ward could do about that. He's had a decent game. I can't knock him. He's not been world class, but he's not been out of place. We really take a long, hard look at what we do with this team, because I'm really not sure. We really do need to sort this defence out. You know, going forward, we should have no problems at all. Coutinho's just given that away. Milner's got it now. Chamberlain. The little triangle is the midfielder, nice, but they're not going to do anything too much at this stage. Ings has tried to get through, but he's blasted that well wide. It would have been a great goal if it had just come from something a bit more impressive build-up wise. Ings out to Coutinho. We're pretty much looking at a final whistle here, I think. Indeed, he's got the ball. He's just running towards his own corner flag. Finds Maguire. It would take a spectacular mistake for us to get something now. And we're bottom of the table. We've just lost to Leicester. Clavan has had just the most shockingly awful game I think I've ever seen a centre half have. I tried to make him a youth team coach, and it didn't really do anything. Let's have a good scream at Clavan, because that was absolutely awful. Let's have a shout. Let's see what that does. Nothing. It does nothing to him, but there we go. We'll hand over the rest to the assistant, see if he can upset anyone else. He hasn't. Okay, So we've got some work to do, boys. We'll figure it out. We've got Besiktas in the next game, which I'm gonna play off stream or off save. I've got to get off save and off stream the right around. I'll do the press conference off there. Danny Ings is going to be out for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, but the physio will do that. Emre Can's banned for 1 match. Frankly, we're not going to appeal against that because that was stupid, and we're going to fine him a week's wages because you don't do 2-footed tackles. But that's not how we play, boys. That's not how we play. And we got an "I'm the boss" achievement for that, so we must have done something right. A couple of players who apparently need a rest. We'll look into that off stream. It's been a fun day. It's been a fun day. Not a good day for streaming. Anyway, boys, if you've enjoyed the episode, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter. The address is at the top, and give us a follow on Twitch, just so you can say you saw it if we do anything useful on the stream save. Until next time, guys, have a good night. I'm going to get some sleep before I do this work thing. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. Bye bye.